We are live in 3, 2, 1.
My heart is broken for his family, for his community, for our country.
An outpouring of condolences as Maryland Representative Elijah Cummings passes away.
2 Utah men involved in the world's largest child pornography website have been arrested.
Too often, the crime of domestic violence is not seen.
And Salt Lake City police plant daffodils for domestic violence awareness. Welcome to Newsline. It's Thursday, October 17th. I'm Kim Peterson.
And I'm Chris Jacobs. Representative Elijah Cummings passed away this morning at the age of 68.
Kenzie McGuire has more on just how much his absence is being felt. Kenzie.
This morning, Cummings' office made the announcement that he passed away at Johns Hopkins Hospital due to long-standing health challenges.
My heart is broken for his family, for his community, for our country.
Cummings was born and raised in Baltimore, a community he represented for over 20 years in Congress. Cummings was a fixture in U.S. politics and an advocate for civil rights. He was the chairman of the House Committee on Oversight and Reform and led the charge for an impeachment inquiry into President Donald Trump.
There's a void in the House today that will be hard to fill. And the country lost a very, very good man, and the people of Maryland lost a strong voice.
Kamala Harris and other politicians say we lost a giant today. Congressman Elijah Cummings was a fearless leader, a protector of democracy, and a fighter for the people of Maryland. The world is dimmer without him in it. President Trump says, "I got to see firsthand the strength, passion, and wisdom of this highly respected political leader. His work and voice on so many fronts will be very hard, if not impossible, to replace." And Secretary Pompeo says he is saddened by the news that Representative Cummings, a dedicated public servant, has passed away. Our prayers are with his family and friends at this difficult time. The Maryland's Democratic Party released a statement where they quoted Maya on what happened with her late husband, saying he worked until his last breath because he believed our democracy was the highest and best expression of our collective humanity. I loved him deeply and will miss him dearly. And Adam Schniff gives our sentiments when he says that Cummings was our moral and ethical North Star. Now we will be guided by his powerful memory and incomparable legacy. Rest in peace, my friend. We're still waiting to hear when the service will be, but our thoughts and prayers go out to the Cummings family. Back to you.
2 Utah men are in custody after federal investigators say they were involved with the largest child pornography website in the world. Police say 24-year-old Nicholas Bradshaw of Bountiful and 37-year-old Don Gibbs of Holiday were users of Welcome to Video, a Korean-based child pornography site. Their arrests were part of the largest illegal porn site shut down in history. Federal authorities rescued 23 children who were being actively abused by Welcome to Video. So far, hundreds have been arrested across 38 countries. Take a look at these pictures. Do you recognize this man? Davis County Police are looking for the man who is suspected of vehicle burglary. The incident occurred in Layton earlier this month. Police say the man used stolen credit cards in West Point, Syracuse, Riverdale, Ogden, and Roy. The vehicle he drove when using the credit cards is a white Ford Focus. If you have any information on identifying this man, please call Detective Valencia at 801-451-4130.
A man who went hunting in Summit County this week is missing. Carl Crumreen was last seen on Monday after leaving his campsite on his way to Lyman Lake. When he didn't return, his hunting group went looking for him. Police are doing search operations in the area. Crumreen is a 69-year-old Caucasian male from West Virginia. He's believed to be wearing a camo shirt, coat, pants, and a hunter orange vest with black on it. He is also wearing muck boots, a camo hat with orange, and a camo backpack.
Utah housing prices are on the rise. Newsline reporter Madeline Reber joins us now from Bountiful. Madeline, you were able to look into these numbers affecting the housing market, right?
Yeah, I came to look at how these rising numbers are affecting those who are selling and buying right now.
You've arrived.
Tanner Peck hears this and this noise a lot these days. Tanner is a founder for T&T Serving You, a Utah company that installs the nice white posts telling people your house is for sale. And right now, business is busy.
Sometimes probably get up to 200 signs a week.
which seems odd after the 2018 housing analysis by the U.S. Census Bureau. Housing prices in the Beehive State rose 40% the last 5 years. This makes the average Utah home price $332,000. The national average, $226,000. So what makes housing increase possible while still keeping Tanner in business? A few things.
The biggest thing right now is the interest rates.
Leo Calkeen is a realtor.
Yeah.
Sometimes rising housing costs negatively affect realtors, but because interest rates are so low, consumer confidence is high. The other, rent. As home costs are on the rise, so is rent. 5 years ago, rent was averaged at $884. Now rent means out at nearly $1,100.
It just makes sense to own your own place and have that money go towards your future than to your landlord's future.
And the census report shows that a high percentage of Utah is moving towards home buying. Calkeen says that now is the time. You may get a better home because rates are so low. And the big white signs.
And we're just moving through them really quick.
And the full census report will be available on December 19th. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Madeline.
After many years of consideration and several proposals, a bridge over Utah Lake may finally be constructed. The Mountainland Association of Governments is planning on building the bridge after 2040 as part of the TransPlan 50 plan, which includes dozens of regional transportation projects to be completed between 2019 and 2050. The exact location of the bridge has not yet been determined, but the goal is to construct the bridge in such a way that it improves traffic flow, specifically on I-15. And the Utah Department of Transportation has closed 6200 South between Bangerter Highway and Dixie Drive as of last night. And the road will remain closed until Wednesday, October 23rd at 5 a.m. This closure allows the Jordan Valley Aqueduct to be relocated in preparation for construction between Bangerter Highway and 6200 South. Additional information about alternative routes and contact information can be found at the website below.
Fall break is here and many people are excited, except those who work at the Salt Lake City Airport. Increased air traffic is anticipated for fall break, with the airport expecting more than 30,000 passengers each day. Airport officials are encouraging travelers to plan accordingly. Suggestions include arriving at the airport 2 hours before flight time for domestic flights, printing out boarding passes at home, and more to help make your holiday travel plans fly as smoothly as possible.
E-scooters are becoming popular throughout the country as the nation pushes to go green. But as Halston Brown found out, they may not be as eco-friendly as some people may think.
E-scooters are not as good for the environment as we think. A new study at North Carolina State shows that e-scooters are not a very good alternative to cars.
E-scooters are becoming popular throughout the country as the nation pushes to go green. These electrically powered scooters are an alternative to driving in hopes to reduce the amount of carbon dioxide being let into the air.
Since we're in college, a lot of people don't have cars, and a lot of people don't really have the money to spend on Uber and Lyft.
While they are a convenient way of travel, a study done by North Carolina State shows that the e-scooters are manufactured in China, then shipped out across the world. This, along with the process of maintaining, charging, and transporting, shows that these scooters aren't exactly emission-free.
Scooters are a pretty good way for college students to just get around where they need to go, just in a relative proximity to Provo.
According to the National Association of City Transportation Officials, last year 38.5 million trips were taken on e-scooters. While these scooter companies are extremely successful, the main goal may not be what they hoped.
I've never really used the scooters for anything other than fun. I like going downtown and riding them, but not to get from one place to another for real purposes.
Like Emma Lane, many people are not taking rides on scooters instead of driving, but in addition to driving. This causes frequent maintenance on the scooters, such as charging and using trucks to transport them daily.
Whether or not e-scooters are your mode of transportation, there are definitely more environmentally friendly ways of getting around. Back to you.
Amazon is hiring 700 full-time positions in Salt Lake City. New hires will fill a variety of roles at the Salt Lake City Fulfillment Center. Amazon opened its Salt Lake Center just last year. Amazon is offering $15 per hour along with full benefits on day one. Candidates must be at least 18 or older and have a high school diploma or equivalent to be considered. Interested applicants can apply at amazon.com/SLC jobs.
It's National Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and Salt Lake City police officers are using their green thumbs to honor victims of domestic abuse.
We're going to plant some daffodils today.
Police officers, along with Mayor Biskupski, planted 300 daffodil bulbs in front of the Salt Lake Public Safety Building. The planting ceremony followed speeches from the mayor, police chief, and a victim's advocate. Police say the flowers symbolize Utahns affected by domestic violence. There have been 21 domestic violence-related deaths in the state this year alone. The event was part of Utah's Week Without Violence.
A historic men's club in downtown Salt Lake is getting a makeover.
NewsLine reporter Anessa Pennington checked it out. Anessa, what is the building used for now?
The building is now a co-working space for women, the first of its kind in Utah.
When the building at 32 East Exchange Place was first built, women were only allowed in designated areas. Today, the building is now home to The Wave, a co-working space for women and other marginalized genders.
Women are craving coming together. They're craving safe spaces.
For women who freelance or run their own businesses, The Wave is an upgrade from working at home or in a coffee shop. But the real benefit is working side by side with people who share their experience.
And that collaboration of talking about issues specific to you doesn't always happen in traditional work spaces that are geared to men.
Every part of the space is curated for women.
I mean, everything about it, from the aesthetic to go in the bathroom, there's like feminine hygiene products out on the counter. There's deodorant wipes, there's spray for your hair, like dry shampoo.
The Wave has several unique amenities available to members, including childcare, massage therapy, a beauty bar, and yoga classes. But there are also services to help businesses get up and running, including access to a podcast studio and legal and accounting consulting.
We see women come to us and say, oh, I was going to quit my job, but now I'm going to launch an independent consulting firm.
Since it opened in April, The Wave now has more than 100 members, and they hope to continue supporting the rapidly increasing number of women business owners in Utah.
The most rewarding part is when we've seen members meet each other here at a social, and then they are now collaborating to launch a business.
Collaborative workspaces for both men and women have become popular around the world. According to coworkingresources.org, there will be more than 18,000 co-working spaces in the world by the end of 2019, with almost 700 of those opening in the United States.
Thanks, Anessa.
160 refugee artists participated in a new art exhibit.
They give me a feeling of belonging in a language that everybody can understand.
Find out what the exhibit was all about.
I grew up in Vernal, Utah, and in Vernal, Utah, we knew our farmers.
And a Utah man creates a way for people to get in touch with and buy from their local farmers.
And a cold front is moving quickly into Utah. Coming up, I'll walk you through our next storm and let you know when our temperatures will drop. My full forecast is next.
You can achieve a lot using your imagination. I mean, I don't like to brag, but wait, who's that? And why is she all over these achievement awards? But with STEM, the sky's the limit. Shaboom! Use STEM to envision. Okay, I'm seeing it. Yeah. Invent.
Got any ideas?
I've got a few, actually. And create a better world.
Told you she's super smart.
If she can STEM, so can you. Find out more at She Can STEM.
Hundreds of people were drawn to the Springville Art Museum for spiritual enlightenment.
NewsLine reporter Emma Benson went to the new museum exhibit. Emma?
The Museum of Art in Springville hosted an opening event for the 34th Annual Spiritual and Religious Art of Utah exhibition last night.
I like the meaning in this one.
The diverse artwork in the Spiritual and Religious Art of Utah exhibition encourages viewers to reflect on their own spirituality and beliefs. More than 160 artists participated in the show.
We like to do these events just because the artists love to be able to get together and network and talk to each other and see what is happening in Utah right now in the art community.
One of those artists is Ana Maria Ravina Stashore. Ravina Stashore is a Peruvian refugee. She came to the United States and obtained asylum in 2002. Though she says her life is complicated, she finds solace in art.
I'm proud of my tools.
Her parents instilled in her a love of art at a young age. She went on to study art at the University of Montana and then the University of Utah. She says art is a way for her to tell a story in a universal language.
I ended up transferring my emotions to the art itself, to the artwork itself. And I ended up building these pieces of art because they mean home to me. They give me a feeling of belonging in a language that everybody can understand.
Ravina Stashore often travels to Europe to showcase her art.
You know, the feeling of transporting color on a surface, it calms me down.
Ravina Stashore's work and others in the exhibit will be showcased at the museum until January 15th of next year. Back to you.
Thanks, Emma. If you want to switch to biking to work but don't know if you can, the Provo Bicycle Collective can help. Bella Erickson shows us how the nonprofit is helping women feel confident in commuting on a bicycle.
About 75% of bike trips made in the United States are by men, and only 25% are by women.
These numbers are the reason why the Provo Bicycle Collective thinks a women's summit is necessary.
It's important to understand what is causing that disparity and make sure that any women who would want to bike but maybe feel intimidated or there's another barrier, that they still feel like they can.
Judith Westwood teaches safety techniques for women commuting on bikes, including acting like a car, and for the winter, bundling up as much as if you were going on a walk.
These principles make a lot of sense for single riders, but what about bikers with kids?
School teacher Erin Farnes doesn't have a car. She takes her 3 small kids everywhere in a cargo bike, which looks kind of like a mini covered wagon. What do her kids think of their ride?
We ride it everywhere, we don't have a car. It's cool.
Mary Wade, the director of Bike Walk Provo, says that biking everywhere defined her motherhood.
Be patient with yourself. Let it be incremental as your confidence grows. Start with short trips. It's just all part of the adventure. It's great.
Mary and the others at Bike Walk Provo are making strides to make Provo roads safe for bike commuters. Until then, the Bicycle Collective is here to help women keep on rolling. Reporting for NewsLine in Provo, I'm Bella Erickson.
When Will's Jolly moved his family back to Utah from Arizona, he was so excited to expose his kids to farm fresh food. As Newsline reporter Eliza Fellows found out, he created an easy way for his family and others to find fresh fruit and produce near their homes.
I grew up in Vernal, Utah, and in Vernal, Utah, we knew our farmers.
Will's Jolly grew up with his neighbors who shared their farm fresh food. Although he quickly learned that living with his family in American Fork would be a much different experience.
We had gardens and we knew how to get local produce. But once we moved out here to the Wasatch Front, my wife and I wanted to have the same experience for my kids, to be able to produce to be able to have access to local food.
Will's Jolly and his wife Bailey began working together to come up with a solution.
I'd spend about 2 to 3 hours. I only found 3 farmers, and I thought there's got to be an easier way to find food, find local food. And so that was when Bailey and I started our journey of trying to figure out how to make it easy for farmers to connect with local customers.
We had a website first, just of us, a blog of us exploring farmers around Utah and getting to know them and spreading the word that they're here and we want people to know about them.
But they found it to be too complicated and time-consuming for farmers already working long hours to constantly update their offerings on the website.
And so that was when Bailey and I started our journey of trying to figure out how to make it easy for farmers to connect with local customers. But nothing has really clicked in until we have this app. Farmers love it because they'll be able to find their customers best. Where are they located best? Should I set up a stand closer to them or not? And it's just a great community for both customers and farmers to be able to be most efficient in delivering local food.
So when you download the app, you can put in your preferences, your location that you want to travel to, and what kind of produce you're looking for, and it will filter through and put all the farmers in a list that are near you that you're looking for, and will show what they have to offer, what the price is, and then you can even click on the button to reserve your spot.
Well, today the nor'easter storm is turning into a bomb cyclone. So right now, rain and winds are just pummeling the northeast, but because of a strong pressure drop overnight, this storm is really now close to the power of a Category 1 hurricane. The main concerns right now with the storm are down power lines and lots of flooded roads, but this storm could just stay right over the northeast until tomorrow and really cook up some continued severe weather for them. Here at home, though, we are feeling like a perfect, beautiful day. This is a good view of Park City. Look at those colors up there on the bench. Not a lot of traffic happening right now in downtown Park City, but it's a perfect fall day out there. But it's really the last few days of fall we may be getting before a snowstorm is going to move into our region very, very quickly. This is tonight. That green that you saw right over there, the I-15 corridor, we could be getting some rain tonight. Our temperatures will drop so quickly that by Saturday and Sunday, this is how much snow we could be getting across basically the Wasatch Front. Now that storm will probably clear out going into Tuesday of next week. Fall should come back, but if you want to catch any leaves, go see up the mountains this weekend. Today really and tomorrow are the best days to do that. Look at the temperatures today. Logan 65, cooling down though to 33 degrees. Provo 73 and then cooling down to 39. Richfield though at 37 and St. George down there in the 80s. Cooling down to 52 degrees. That's a nice drop for St. George. Now in southern Utah, you've got some good weather basically into Tuesday. You will stay in those 70s and 60s. But for northern Utah, here's what's going on. We have got rain on Saturday, snow maybe on Sunday. Then by Monday and Tuesday, we should clear up. So it should be a good week for the rest of the week. But if you've got any weekend plans, I would totally recommend staying home maybe. I know we've got football games and lots going on, but the weather's going to be kind of iffy this weekend.
Might be a good time to stay in and watch the game from home.
Yes.
Go out and brave it. It's going to be an 8 o'clock game, so it's going to be cold and wet.
Ooh. Yes.
Yes. But we are now just days away from the Boise State game this Saturday. Find out the updated quarterback situation and how the Cougars are handling practice this week. And we will tell you what went wrong for the Jazz last night.
They call me Prince like I'm royalty or something. But the places I've lived ain't no palaces. So I don't need grilled salmon or a new scratching post. Just give me a cardboard box and a can of tuna and we're good. You can even change my name. I'm cool being the kitty formerly known as Prince.
Hey, Kevin, you thinking about retirement?
I'd love to, but I'm pretty busy with all this.
Yeah. Hey, let's meet our retirement coach, Avo. A is for taking action.
Not anxiety?
No, Kevin, you're gonna be fine.
You sing?
Barely. V is for variety.
And you dance?
Sort of. Come on. O is for optimize your savings.
Let Avo lead the way.
Visit aceyourretirement.org today.
Nice.
Thanks.
BYU football is preparing for number 14 Boise State on Saturday, and who will start at quarterback is still up in the air for the Cougars. In yesterday's media availability, offensive coordinator Jeff Grimes said that backup quarterback Jaron Hall is still day-to-day because of his concussion he sustained on Saturday at South Florida. Hall is taking reps at practice but is still not cleared for Saturday's game. With Zach Wilson and now possibly Jaron Hall still out, the QB job may fall to Baylor Romney or Joe Critchlow. Exciting news for BYU men's golf. Peter Quest is the #1 ranked golfer in the nation according to the first NCAA rankings of the 2019 season. As a team, the Cougars are ranked number 5 in the nation. Quest has posted an NCAA low 67.90 scoring average and recorded 3 top 5 finishes this season. He won the William H. Tucker Invitational in September by 9 strokes. Quest and his team will compete next week in Stockton, California. 6 BYU men's tennis players are advancing to the round of 32 at the ITA Mountain Regional Championships in Denver. Freshman Jack Barnett knocked out the number 13 seed to advance along with his teammates Ferreira Lite, Ben Gerardo, Sam Toulis, Mateo Melendez, and Sean Hill, who is the number 1 seed overall in the tournament. The Cougars will compete in the round of 32 for singles and doubles throughout the day today. The Utah Jazz played their final preseason game last night, falling to the Trailblazers 126-118. While Donovan Mitchell put on a show, finishing with 27 points, this is the Jazz's 4th straight loss. In the last 4 games, the Jazz have given up an average of 129 points. We will see if Utah can turn things around when they open their regular season at the Oklahoma City Thunder on Wednesday. And in other BYU news, BYU softball plays UVU today. And then Yoli Childs, just moments ago, got added to the Carmelone watch list. So the best power forward in college basketball. So that's pretty exciting.
Go Cougs.
Yeah, I know. Look at that.
How fierce is that rivalry between UVU and BYU? I mean, I know at BYU.
I think some sports it's bigger than others, but you know.
Well, guys, listen to this story. Identical twin newborns welcomed into the world by identical twin nurses. It happened last month in Athens, Georgia. By chance, the twin nurses Tori Howard and Terry Drinkard got to help deliver Addison and Emma Williams that day. The baby's father, Brandon Williams, said he was really nervous going into the delivery room, but when he heard that his girls would be delivered by twin nurses, it relaxed him a little bit. The babies are doing well and they're scheduled to go home today.
Those are some precious little
That's
babies.
cute. That's cool.
Babies.
I know.
And twin babies like double the goodness. It's
Right?
absolutely great.
What are the odds of that happening? That's amazing.
I don't even know.
Pretty slim. Yeah.
Thanks for joining us today for Newsline.
For more information on our stories or to share them with your friends, check out our website at universe.byu.edu/newsline.
Have a great day.